I tell stories, right? I tell stories and I drink some beer while I'm doing it. So what we got here is we got an amazing Budweiser. This is my favorite drink, by the way. Favorite beer. So we tell stories, all right? And these stories usually consist of me telling about my life and telling you guys about things that happen. You guys know that I have a restroom sign here because my restroom is literally right the fuck there. But that's beside the point. So go ahead and crack this real quick. So I'm sitting on this cruise, right? I think I talked a little bit about this the last show I had. But I'm on this cruise, right? Let me turn this light on real quick so you guys get the good lighting. There we go. So I'm on this cruise, okay? Great cruise, great people. Probably my best time I had in my life. I don't know if it was last show or if it was just a pre-recording, but I was eating cookies during my show. But obviously, you know, we drink and tell stories. So I'm on this cruise, right? I'm with CJ, Brian, Lucas, Flo, and Andy, and Victoria, and Luis. Had a big group of friends. This story's great. So we're just chilling, smoking, and we're having a great time. Now, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be funny. Make it like a real show. And have this sitting here. And we're gonna go ahead and put our beer right here. So I'm sitting on this cruise with CJ and the rest of the group, and we're just goofing around, having a good time, drinking, smoking, fun stuff, right? Stuff that 20-year-olds do on boats where they go out of the country to international waters. And after that, we kind of just settle down. I go off with Victoria, you know, have a little pound town, you know, 20-year-old stuff, like I said. So I'm with Victoria. You know, we're making out in the hall. You know, we're listening to Eric Clapton's Tears in Heaven. Great song, by the way. You guys should go check it out. Look it up. Eric Clapton. So, Tears in Heaven. I love that song because of my Uncle Kevin. He died of cancer, and his funeral memorabilia video was sung over by Eric Clapton's Tears in Heaven. So I'm sitting there in the hall with her. You know, it's like 4 a.m. And we're just talking, you know. She showed me her currency because she lives in Canada, Montreal, or Quebec. I don't fucking know. I think it's Montreal. Montreal sounds right. So I'm looking at her ID. Her name was Victoria Elizabeth Boyven. Great girl. Amazing lady. Beautiful too. Brown hair, just like my beautiful hair. But we're sitting there, you know, I had maybe, I want to say 16 beers at night. And man, that shit changes you, man. You know, hanging with a girl will change your fucking life, especially on a cruise. Because, you know, and I didn't know she was single at the time until some other girl introduced me to her name. I forgot her name. I think it was like Latoya or Ladasha or Rebecca, or was it Jasmine? I think it was Jasmine with a Z. I also met this other girl. Her name was Kylie. I met two Kylies on that boat. And then the next day, Kylie, like, I was like, hey, Kylie. And she's like, oh, I don't really know you, but hi. And then I was like, what are you talking about? You were chilling with me on the piano last night rubbing my dick. So I'm in front of her boyfriend, right? And I'm sitting there like, hey, dude. So I heard you ditched your girlfriend last night. You know, that's not very cool. You know, you got to stay with her. She's a keeper. And he's like, what do you know about my girlfriend? I'm like, dude. And I'm holding a beer this time, right? This was the day before I was with Victoria. So I'm sitting here like this. You really going to ask me that question? Put my beer down. You know, roll up the sleeves. get in my zone. I put the hat on backwards. And I tell him straight up, I'm like, dude, you ditched your girlfriend. And this dude's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, she told me that you ditched her to go fuck off with some other girl and that you were flirting with another girl. And he's like, he looks at me like this, man. He's like, he's all tall and shit, right? So I'm casually looking up. You know, I'm not trying to like look up at a skyscraper or nothing, but I'm just, sitting here with my hat tilted up so I can actually see, and I'm just leaning back like this, right? So I'm leaning back like a cocky asshole. Got my leg all out, my left leg out. I'm putting all my weight on my right side of my body, my right leg. I'm leaning back, and I just, there's a bar right here, so I'm just like, man, don't do that. Your girlfriend told me that you ditched her, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, dude, she told me that you ditched her. So she was on the 11th floor, just like me. My cab number was 11667. Hers was like 11543 or some shit. That's beside the point. So I'm talking to Kylie, right? I took her to dinner, and she was thankful for it. She's like, I want some chocolate cake, but I'm allergic to, what was it? Some food that's on the boat. I think it was like, I want to say nuts. Yeah, she's allergic to peanuts, and I was like, well, I think Taste has peanuts in their chocolate cake, but I'm sure you can ask for it without. So we go to Taste. Right, the line is fucking long. Okay, it's at least a 20-minute wait. So we go to the piano, and then some random guy. This is when we're talking. Some random guy. I go up to go to the other restaurant. It was called Savor. Some random guy walks up, and he's like, "Kylie, come with me." I'm just looking over there like, "What the fuck? What the fuck just happened?" And then she's like, "Oh, hold on one second." So I wait there for about 30 seconds because I'm an impatient little bastard. But so I wait there for 30 seconds. I haven't seen Brian all day. I haven't seen Willie, not Willie, Luis. I haven't seen Flo, Lucas, Andy, Victoria all day because it was a shore excursion day. So they're probably all asleep and knocked the fuck out. And Kylie was up, and then I was standing there for about 30 seconds, standing there like this, casually, looking on my phone, flicking lighters, I had nothing better to do. And I get bored, and then I just go around looking for her because I know she's on the 7th floor. I know she's in this general area. So I'm just standing there like, where'd she go? Where'd she go? I looked all around the 7th floor. I went to the casino and back, to Bliss and back. I went to the the Bliss Lounge and back. This is about 10:30 at night, and she was already drunk as shit. So I don't know if I thought she fell off the boat or got raped. That was just my assumption. I had no idea where she went or what she was doing. So I get there, and then I see Brian. He's on the 7th floor walking around with a Long Island. He's all drunk as shit, dude. He tells me, he's like, I want to black out tonight. I'm like, oh man, we're in. So I'm just piling on with him, man. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So we get to the bar. He gets me a Budweiser, and I meet these German people, right? And I'm German, so everybody who's German gets friends with people who are German because they're German. So his name is Flo, right? Or Lucas. He's a smoker. He smokes cigarettes. That's actually where I met him. Me and Brian were going up to puff a cig at the 15th deck by the bar, about 10:30 at night now, and bars close at 4. So we had 5.5 hours ahead of us, just 5.5 hours ahead of us, and we're just walking around the boat, looking at shit, and we run into this guy named Lucas. Me and Brian run into this guy named Lucas. He's like, "Hello, I'm a German man. I love German people." I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm German too." And he's like, "Oh, no way, man. What the fuck, bro?" And I'm just sitting here like, "Yeah, you didn't know that about me? Look at my hair, dude. Look at my hair." And then he's like, "Oh, do the thing." So I'm just sitting here like this, like just casually itching my face. And he's like, "Oh, you look like Hitler." And I'm like, "Dude, I get that all the time where I'm from." And he's like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "Michigan." He's like, The first thing that comes out of his mouth is, "Damn, man, he's from Michigan, man." So I'm sitting here like, yeah, I'm from Michigan. What about it? But me and Lucas weren't really that cool until like the last 3 days of the cruise. But we were hanging out every night. You know, I met his family. They're great. They bought me a Budweiser because they had the unlimited drink package. And then, so this is the night I first tried alcohol again. I had a Long Island because Brian gave it to me, and he's like, "Here, man, take a sip of this. You know, I'm gonna use the bathroom, whatever." So I take a sip, right? I'm like this. I have a straw. I'm like, "Oh man, this is pretty good." So what do I do? Take another sip. Take about 7 or 8 more sips. It's crazy, you know. I was standing there like, "Oh man, this is really good. It tastes just like Arnold Palmer mixed with like Bacardi and some vodka," and that's what it was, and a splash of Coke, not cocaine. You know, we don't do that shit on this channel, never. So I'm sitting there or standing there with the drink in my hand. And he's in the bathroom for at least 5 minutes, so it gave him plenty of time to finish his drink for him, you know, because you don't need to get too drunk, but it's good to get a little tipsy during the day, you know. And what I did was I'm standing there drinking his drink, and then he comes out of the bathroom. He's like, "Dude, you just drank my whole entire drink." I'm like, "Yeah, you can always go get another one. You have the unlimited drink package." So he's like, "Yeah, you're right." So we go back to the bar on the 8th floor near the cigar lounge. You know, we smoked in there, whatever bullshit. So I'm sitting in the cigar lounge puffing a cig. I smoked maybe 18 packs or 20 packs on that cruise alone, off of just other people. This guy actually gave me two packs to myself of L&M Reds, and that's really what I was smoking on. You know, the first day I got on the boat, I get to the cigar lounge. There's this guy. He's an HVAC guy, and he sits down with me. I tell him about what I used to do, you know, how I used to do that. I did esports, you know, YouTube and shit like that. And he's like, "Oh man, so did you make money on YouTube?" I'm like, "Yeah, I made a few $1,000s on YouTube just making videos." And he's like, "Dude, that's crazy." I'm like, "Yeah, it was pretty fun, you know, until my channel got shut down." This is when I had 10,000 subs on YouTube at one point in my life. If you guys know me, I had a big channel last year, or 2016 through 17. It really like blew up for me throughout my senior year of high school, going into Washtenaw and shit like that. I think in Washtenaw I gained like 2,500 subs, and that's like the majority of the school there. But anyways, I was telling this guy about my YouTube stuff, and he's like, "Oh man, that really sucks that your channel got shut down." I'm like, "Yeah, it's no big deal. You know, I got 25K on Twitter, so it's great. So thank you guys for all the support on Twitter, by the way." So yeah, we're sitting here smoking cigs, and then Bryant comes along, and I meet Bryant for the first time, and then he just sits down, and then they're just talking. I'm like, "Where are you guys from?" They're like, "Oh, we're from Michigan." And I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm from Michigan too. What part?" They're like, "We're from St. John's." And I'm like, "Okay, so where's St. John's?" He's like, "You know where Lansing is?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's the state capital." And they're like, "Yeah, we're literally right above St. John's." So Lansing's like right dead in the center of the mitten, right? So St. John's is like where your middle finger joint fat thing is in your hand. That's where that is. That's where St. John's is. So then they go out of here. They go out, right? Boat doesn't sail for another 2 hours. I got on at 3, so boat doesn't sail for 2 hours. I met a lot of people on that boat. I met about 500 people on that boat, and they all love me. They all love me. You know, the last day, one of my friends, her name was like Rebecca or Lindsay or something like that. It was a really hot name, but she was kind of aged. She wasn't old. She's like 40. So I'm talking to Lindsay, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, I have to go." And then she gives me this biggest hug, and I started crying, man. She started crying, and then I gave her friend a hug. Her name was Haley. Oh, dude, I miss that boat so much. If I could go back in time, guys, I would go to that boat. I lost all of my videos on my phone. I don't know how. I don't know what happened last night, but I lost all my videos on my phone. So now we're just starting fresh. So that means I lost the talks with Lucas, the times with Lucas, all that shit, all gone. I'm sitting there like, "What the fuck?" I'm sitting in bed like, "What the fuck?" I wake up this morning seeing no videos at school. But anyways, so that was the cruise, and then the third night I meet Victoria from Jasmine. You know, she was chilling on. She had her baby. Jasmine had her baby, And then she just drops it off with her mom. Her mom lost $2,000. Someone stole it from her, but that's no big deal. She was at the casino, so she could always make more. Some guy won $26,000 playing craps at that casino. I think that's just mind blowing. In 2 nights. So the first 2 nights I was there, we were there. This dude won $26,000 playing craps. Who does that? So my mom walks up to me and she's like, "Hey, you want to go to the casino?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, great." So I sit down at the casino, right? I'm winning big here. All right, I'm going max bet. I'm making like maybe $150 every other spin, and then I blow it. I fucking lose it all because when you gamble, you tend to get hooked, so you just tend to lose your money anyways. So this is where I meet Jasmine. I'm done with the casino. I'm bored. I already had dinner. I had dinner at, what was it, Tropicana? Great place. So I had dinner at Tropicana with my family. We're sitting down eating dinner, talking about shit. I'm drunk as hell, by the way, on this boat at this time. Like, I'm just fucked up. So the first place we went to was Honduras, and there wasn't really anything cool in Honduras. We didn't really get off the boat. We didn't really need to see anything in Honduras. We didn't have any excursions or anything like that. So I just stayed on the boat and met some friends, smoked a lot, drank. And then the next stop was Belize. And in Belize, there is a beach and there's a zip lining thing. And I'm doing this zip line, right? I get up to this big ass lighthouse about as tall as maybe a chimney on a really big house. So it's about 3 story, 6 floors tall. It's 6 floors tall. So I guess you could say it's as tall as like an office center or whatever. So it's 6 floors up. I'm looking down, scared as shit. I'm drunk, by the way. And I'm just standing here like this, looking down, seeing the people on the paddle boards going through the river and shit. And my dad's up there like, "I'm gonna shit my pants," and I'm just sitting here laughing, right? I mean, he's like, I think I'm gonna shit myself," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, dude! He said he was gonna shit himself. Oh man!" But I didn't really think it was that funny because I hear that shit all the time, so I'm just going along with it. My sister, on the other hand, she's ballsy, man. She got on that tower like a fucking beast. Like she's 007, ready to jump the fuck off with no harness into the water type shit. I mean, I'm fine. I'm standing there like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready to do this. I've done high ropes before." And they had a bridge going at about, uh, probably about this angle, right? The angle's about like this. Come on, focus on me. So the angle's about like this, right? It's a bridge. We're climbing up the bridge, and my dad's just beside himself. He's shitting his pants at this point. Because the next step was Superman ziplining, where you have to lay on your stomach and they have to hook you up. So at any point in time, if they miss the hook, you could fall and die, and that sucks. Nobody wants to fall and die. So my dad's standing there like, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit." I'm like, "Dad, it's gonna be okay. I already went. I already went across the zip line. My mom was on the beach. I waved her. I was like, "Hi, Mom," and she's like, "Hey." So that's in Belize. That's actually where I got. Where is it? Somewhere right here. Here we go. Belize. So I got this from Belize. Did zip lining. I got a bandana or some shit, some motorcycle looking bandana. It was cool though. I liked it. So yeah, I'm sitting on the beach with my mom, talking to her. She had a bad day, bad night. I was out till like 5 a.m. getting fucked up. And she was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm great." And then the next stop we went to was Costa Maya. Me and my dad did this awesome tour of the Mayan temples, guys. Let me tell you guys, the Mayan temples is a great place to go, especially if you want to learn shit. So we go to these Mayan temples, and I'm looking up at these temples like, God damn, these things are as big as maybe one of the biggest houses in Michigan. They're huge. They're probably like 2,000, 3,000 square feet in the base. So I have to climb this shit. And now the stairs are like from the floor to my bed. So it's about knee height. So not only do I have to climb up these stairs to get to the top, But I had to do a fucking high knees. You know, the shit you do in gym class, the high knees. Yeah, I had to do those. So I'm sitting there like, oh shit. Got a good workout though. Got a good workout. It was about a 6 hour excursion. Right, we went to two temples, two place spots where temples are excavated and found. I learned a lot of shit about the Mayans that day. I get back to the boat. You know, it's another night. I'm drinking Budweiser's. And some guy named Joshua comes up and be like, "You're a really cool guy. I know you from the internet." And then I was like, "Yeah, what do I do?" It's like, "Yeah, you have 25K on Twitter. Your name is at Jazzies with 3 eyes." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." So he whips out his phone and shows me a picture of me. He's like, "Is this you?" He's like, he looks like a thing. I'm thinking he's a cop. Pulls out the phone. "Is this you?" And I'm sitting here like, "Yeah, that's me. Did I do something wrong? Please don't crucify me if I did something wrong." He's like, "No, you didn't do anything wrong." So I'm like, "Thank God." One thing in my life I didn't do wrong. I just met a person and now they're already asking me who I am. So I got some nerves building up in my body. I was getting nervous. Shit. And he's like, "Do you want a beer?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'll take a beer." And this is where I meet a guy. His name is, what was his name? Ronald or Reagan or Ronaldo or Roy or Christopher or some shit. I don't know his name. I know he's on Facebook. He's my friend on Facebook. Good. He's a Russian kid. You know, he's disabled. He's like 20, 25, 24, close to my age, 22 probably. He has a cane because his legs are super skinny, super weak. He doesn't build any muscle in his legs, so he needs a cane to get around. But he has a sweet hat on, big sun hat. And I'm just hanging out with Christopher and Joshua, sitting there drinking, smoking in the 15th deck by the bar. And we're talking. And then Victoria, and then I see this girl, her name, I forget her name. I think it was like Stephanie. I want to say Stephanie. So I'm talking to Stephanie, like, "I'll be right back, guys. I get to go talk to this girl." So she has big old titties, tiggle bitties. I talking to her, you know, her dad's there, and I was like, he's like, "Well, who are you?" Puts his beer down all aggressively, like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "I'm Alex. You know, I'm not any sex offender. Promise you can check me up." And her dad's like a cop, right? So he pulls out his phone, looks me up in the sex offender list. I'm not there, and he's like, "Okay, you're good. You can talk to her." And I was like, "God damn, do I really look that horrible?" He's like, "No, you just walked up to my daughter and started talking to her. She's like 18, and I'm 20, so." She said she just turned 18.